is probably, or some 30 years is whatever. Good morning and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. I am Lori Monaco, the Badass Buddha from Align Yourself Inc. I am a life coach specializing in transformation and mindfulness practice. I'm also a holistic practitioner. I never talk about that. I am coming from today from Southern Connecticut. And my beautiful gypsy co-host.
Buenos días, namaste mi gente. Bienvenido a Viva Café con Leche. I am la Margarita. I'm just a whole bunch of one. I'm your spiritual and creative healing life coach, your artist, your gladiator guru, coming to you from Tampa, Florida, by way of Bridgeport.
And how is the weather in Tampa today?
It's already hot.
Florida's always hot that early. It's like you can't. My sister's from the West Coast, and she's in California, in Southern California, and it's amazing how it can get pretty hot, you know, during the day, although not too bad usually in San Diego. But at night, it's like you don't need air conditioning. You just open your windows, it drops to the 50s because they're in the desert region, they're more arid. And it's just spectacular, like difference it is to be at night. If you just get that break, you don't get that humidity, you don't get that heat, because I'm miserable when I'm trying to sleep at night and it's hot and humid. Oh, forget it.
No, I lived in LA for 6 months.
Yeah, LA's a different beast altogether. It's still in Florida, but it's different than the rest of California.
Yes, and I spent a lot of time in Santa Barbara.
Oh, I love Santa Barbara. It's so beautiful.
And I spent time in San Diego because my godfather, whose family then moved to Altamont Springs here in Florida, Jolivet, if she's on, he lived there at that time. I loved California. And Arizona, when I stayed for like 3 months in Phoenix, it was like burning dry heat during the day, but at night, it's like the ground never heated up from all that sun. So
yes.
To the weather, right? We got to be grateful for everything. When I was
100 something degrees.
To get hot because if I was freezing, and then now I'm here and I'm like, what I could do for just a little chill. So, you know, we're unsatisfied humans. But with that note, buenos dias, Carmen, welcome. Carmen Nieves is on.
Why can't I ever do a watch party on my end?
Welcome to Viva. I love them. Don't forget, hashtag Taza de Café Challenge. That is coming up soon. I've been looking at so many mugs, and I love this one, but this one's like carved in. This is my favorite. This is my new favorite. Yes, so Lori got a new batch of coffee.
No, not yet. It was supposed to get delivered today, which wouldn't have made it in time for the show. And then it is set for tomorrow. So Tuesday I will be drinking new coffee. But the other thing is that TJ Maxx opened, and I love TJ Maxx because they always have these really interesting brands of coffee. And I haven't had a chance to stop there yet. So I'm going to probably grab a few bags too, just so that I can mix and match a little bit.
I love TJ Maxx. I love Marshall's, and over here we have Ross.
My sister has Ross too.
You could pay almost $6 in the grocery store for like traditional medicinal or yogi tea. They got them for like $2.99 at Ross and Marshall's, and I just love all the different, like the matcha tea. I've been drinking matcha tea from Ross for 4 years now. Now all of a sudden it's this big boom out there for the green matcha. But
I love matcha.
Yes. So I
love matcha.
I love all those stores. I don't go there for anything else but houseware, olive oil. They sell like these big bottles for like $6. And mugs.
Well, they have nice clothes too. It's just that I have to say this, so I'm going to put it out there. But you know, I used to have friends that be like, "Oh, I got this at TJ Maxx. I got this at Marshall's for really cheap." But if you are a bigger person, they don't have a great selection. And
Yeah,
for years,
bigger whether in tall or wide. It's a
yeah,
hit.
for years, I never could shop there because I was always like, for years, I was like a size 14 and up. And so you would get like the small section would be enormous, medium, large, and then you get like the XL or 1X or higher. It's like this.
Yeah.
So I gave up on it. I would go there for shoes, like for shoes and boots, but
Yeah, they're awesome. I think they have a little bit of, they can offer a little bit of everything. Last minute gifting. I mean,
yes.
I love Ross. I could be in Ross every day. And I'll hit other different Ross because in different geographical areas, they sell different items.
Yes, you're right.
So good morning, Lisa. Lisa says, or short and stocky. Good morning, Sister Connie. Good morning, Sister Janet.
Good morning, everybody. And Francia is on
Good
too.
morning, Beatty. Iris is very short. She was like an inch shy of being a dwarf. Literally, she's like 4'9". That's why she wore like platforms most of her life. That's all right, Iris.
Right.
Embrace your shortness.
That's right.
Yeah, good morning, ladies, and thank you for joining us this morning. I was singing this morning just to get my voice awake with the rest of me. But yeah, drinking. Oh, I wanted to show the monk fruit.
Oh, yeah.
0 calories, 0 this. It only has like 1 gram. The only thing it has on is 1 gram of carb. The only thing. But they have them in packets now.
Oh, okay.
Found it at CVS, $3.99, and then it has a 75-cent sticker off on it. I don't like it. I'd rather go without sugar. I just don't like anything but my brown sugar mixed with cinnamon. Or absolutely, like, because I only take a little bit of sugar. I like it bitter. Good morning, Grand Diva Hernandez. So, but just to put it out there, Lori, plus a monk fruit is one of Keto's approved. You know what? That's like eating, to me, these sweeteners, these substitute sweeteners, and if anybody out there agrees, to me, it's like the all-American dream. You know what the all-American dream is? Cheeseburger, French fries, and a fucking Diet Coke. Only in America will people order that. And to me, that's what these sweeteners are. Like, you know, it's like having sex without an orgasm. You just put it in because it's a packet you're sprinkling in your coffee and because it says it's sweet and low or whatever. Like, you know.
I disagree with you. And they're worse for you anyway. They're actually, like the monk fruit is different. It's an actual fruit extract, just like what's the other one that I was saying that you can use in the coffee for the diet plan that we're on. But stevia, and stevia is I think a root. But either way, they're from natural sources versus, you know, like all these other artificial sweeteners. They're made from really, really nasty chemicals, including that's in Diet Coke, proven to like affect your health poorly. And yet we still, you know, and you're right, people, it's like, so does that offset it? The cheeseburger, fries, and then the Diet Coke. I actually cannot, I don't drink soda at all.
No, me neither.
I used to, but I haven't in years, like years. And
sometimes I like sparkly water. Sparkly water.
Yeah, it's too sweet.
It does. To be honest, when I got a burp or something, or fart or whatever, when you got the trapped gas, I like sparkling mineral water. Let's keep it real. We all do that. I don't know why people are so embarrassed.
No judgment here.
Bodily functions, but that mineral water thing, it does. I just drink it, and it just makes me burp it all out, and it's so soda. People drink soda, they say, for the same reason. That's why I brought it up. Oh, because I got gas and the sizzlies. Well, they got minerals, you know, water, and the Italian one is very good as well.
And with that, welcome, Carmen. Good morning. Carmen came in right at a good time about talking about burping and farting. So,
yes,
Janine, we didn't write that down as a topic, but it had been on my mind. So it just reminded me that one of our topics in the future is going to be real women fart, because and I think that's a book, or it was an article or something like that. There was another speaker that talked about this, but it got me thinking that that's true. It's like we act like we don't do those things, and we act like we don't go to the bathroom, like we are this different human that doesn't do all these things. And damn, we really do those things. So, you know, it is what it is. That's real. Okay. So you don't even know what to say.
It is real. And we shouldn't be ashamed of it. And I think the stigma to us going to bathroom number 2 and releasing gas or whatever, that is something to be shameful. You know, anybody who farts, male or female, should do it. Like, have respect for whoever's around them. I don't want nobody farting in my face, you know, go away or something. But it happens. And just like when women eating in front of men, they feel embarrassed because if they eat, I eat fast. I don't like cold food. So I tell everybody, if we're going to go out to eat, don't judge me. Because if I'm hungry, I'm going to eat. And I'm not here trying to be prissy, you know? So I think there's a lot of stigmas that we have to just throw in the garbage when it comes to how we're supposed to act and how we're supposed to do things. And that's a great point. Thank you for bringing it up, Lori, because it's fact. You don't have to always talk about it. Oh, I fart. Everybody knows everybody. Goes number 2, everybody farts, everybody burps, you know, and in the morning you go and you take out that whatever you want. You know?
So that's a good topic of conversation for the future. But actually, here's how it ties in for today's conversation. So social stigmas, you know, we are judged and we judge others and we judge ourselves on so many elements. In clothes are one of those elements. You know, we look at other people and we judge them based on their clothes. We also judge ourselves, but sometimes there's something like deeper inner lining, you know, like, or inner within that helps us dress ourselves, you know. So I know we got started a little bit late, and we also need to get our guest on today.
You just cut me off because we started late?
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, okay.
Yes,
okay.
I did.
I wrote that in my book, by the way. I wrote it. It's a red flag.
You did what, honey? What?
I wrote that you cut me off. I wrote it in the book. Good morning, Miggy. Thank you for showing up. I love when people pop up on the screen, don't you?
You get more people on your share, your watch party, than I do.
Well, I think you just started doing watch parties, right? I think you just let it run normal.
For some reason, I can't do it on, like, it's easier when it's on your personal page, and for some reason I can't. I did it like a couple of weeks ago, but I can't seem to get it back again, how to share it, a watch party on my homepage, but it is what it is. It's all right. Okay, so let me ask you, my friend, my beautiful friend, Natalia's on. Did you get Natalia on your end? Good morning, Natalia.
No, who's Natalia?
Hello, ladies. Okay, so topic of conversation, what do your clothes say about you? So these are the questions that we're going to pose today, and we're going to have our beautiful guest on, and we'll introduce her in a moment. Are you stylish, sloppy, casual, uptight, sporty? Does it show that you are a working lady? And I don't mean working in the night, a night working lady, unless you're an overnight shift person.
I have mad respect for them.
Sexy. What's your style? And did you always have that style? So before we get Francia on, my beautiful gypsy friend and queen, tell me about your style and how long you've had that style.
My gypsy style, I've had it since teenage. Anybody who's known me, you know, I don't want to date myself. I have a gypsy spirit. I've always had that spirit that can't just sit still, can't stay in one place, has to be out and about. Like last night, I'm out at 11 o'clock at night. The main purpose was to find the diabetic strips to test my mom. But there's something about the night, driving in the night air, and I just love it. So there's really no limit. I can drive out till 5 o'clock in the morning before the sun comes up. That's my passion. That's my escape. My style has always been, it just suits me. So whenever I'm like having writer's block, or I feel like I'm stuck somewhere, you'll see me with my gypsy garb, because it like brings me alive. It's a spiritual connection. It's like, I don't know, it's an energy that whatever I'm choosing to wear, it's an energy that attracts. black. I am always in black. It is not because I'm trying to hide my fat. It is because when I wear black, I feel the most confident. I feel unstoppable. I feel like there's such a strength that no matter what fears I may be having, or whatever insecurities or whatever I'm gonna face that day, I put on my black. I walk in there like Queen Elizabeth with all her crown jewels on. Like, look, but don't touch, bitch.
That's your power color.
It is my power color. It's, and you know, my father always wore black. My mother always wore black. So it's like, oh, I get it for them. But no, it's just a sense of belonging. I don't even know how to explain what the color, when I wear my black. And people tell me it suffocates your pores. Well, I'm still breathing. I'm fine.
I've never heard that.
It's soft like a baby's ass. So I just think it's like, to me, it's a confidence, not so much power as it is. It just like, it's a breath of fresh air to me. And I wear it everywhere. And again, it's not to hide, because you can't hide what you have, you know? It's a feel-good color for me.
What did you say to me yesterday that was so funny? You said, I have 2 ways of dressing every day.
2 ways. Either you see me, and like today I have no jewelry on because I was painting mostly all day yesterday, and the paint ate through my eczema. So my fingers are bad today. So there's 2 ways, and for those who know me know it's true. Either when you see me, either I'm dressed or I look homeless. There's no in between with me. When I'm home, I have my moños to the side.
Oh my God, that's so
like
funny.
Mismatched clothes, baggy or tight up top and baggy on the bottom, and I just look like I should be with a sign saying I'm hungry. And then,
oh my God.
daughter came yesterday, she just looks at me and goes like that. But I said, bitch, I'm home. I'm home. And I don't like to be dressed when I'm home. When I'm in my sanctuary, I like be tits free, no strap-ons on my shoes, you know, loose clothing. I like to be flowy. I like to just
She means
flow.
braless. She has a top on, but tits free means braless. She's not walking out flailing with everybody in the house. Although, you know.
No, that won't bother me either because I love my tits. I think my tits are beautiful. My niece was trying to get me to show her fiance yesterday. I'm like, no.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so I think I like to just flow with my energy, and if I feel that my energy is kind of blocked or it's like being lazy, then I wake it up in my gypsy garb. And that gets me going. That gets me going, and it makes me feel good. And some of my best outfits I bought in thrift stores.
Yeah.
The dress I changed into at my wedding reception, I got from a thrift store. And it ripped on the side, and I didn't have time to get it to fix, so I safety pinned that bitch. And whoever was at my wedding, Iris and my sister and my cousins, I safety pinned it all on the side. And I went out there in my black, I wore black as my changeover from my Indian sari at my wedding reception. Yes, I did.
Let's do some shout outs. Hold on a sec. Lillian and Ruthie and Frank is on. Good morning, everybody. So yeah, I love that you had your style so early on. That's fantastic, you know, that you did. I didn't know what the hell I was. I think I was pretty sporty, and not sporty, outdoorsy. And I've always been an outdoorsy look anyway. I love that look. Hiking boots, shorts, you know, anything that you can go literally just get out of the car and go hiking. So that's always been there. But then, like, I don't know, like from 25, like, or 20, age 24 to like age 40s, early 40s, I had like no style, like nothing. I frumpy, here. I didn't care what I looked like. I was really overweight. I dressed just to make myself comfortable, and I really had no particular style. And it wasn't until but the thing is, I knew what I wanted to be, and I always resonated with the boho stuff. So just like Margie with the gypsy spirit. So bohemian is my style. You okay there, Margie? So that's where I've gotten to now, where I'm a slash of like definitely boho. That's my preference. I'm also very outdoorsy, and then homeless person. That's the other. So I guess that's a style. You could be homeless person. And so on my off times, that's what I'm doing. Is when I'm home, I'm very relaxed. I'm very chill. I don't do anything to my hair. And but I can run to Home Depot in a moment, but I still look homeless when I go. I don't clean myself up necessarily because I'm always working on something. But there's always this underlying tone, and Margie can agree with this because this is where she is too. It doesn't matter if we are gypsy, boho, whatever, and homeless. There is always this sexy background. Wouldn't you agree? I would say, Margie, as she keeps passing by.
Yes.
Like I decided that I'm sexy boho. If I'm going to be anything, I'm going to be sexy something. If I'm going to be outdoorsy, I'm going to be sexy outdoorsy. I had never owned myself to be sexy in all those years. Frumpy, yes. No style. It was evident that I did not care about the way I looked and didn't make any effort in looking a certain way. I would just show up. And that's not the case anymore. So even when I am relaxed and homeless looking, I still have an element about me that I remain sexy in some way.
I apologize.
Did you hear what I was saying though?
I was listening to it all, but my lawn people are here today as opposed to yesterday, and they were knocking on the door. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's okay. Listen, so, right, there's always that background of, even if you're homeless, you're like, still, there's this sexy element to you.
Of course, because I'm magical. And what happens is, when you carry yourself, and I heard you say that, and my Aunt Dolly, Iritza's mom, she always used to tell me, lindo es lindo, which means beautiful, beautiful is beautiful, no matter on your high point or your low point, because that's just your inner spirit come shining out, right? But then it's your personality, no matter what you have on. And that's why we're so quick to judge, because how people are dressed. Sometimes I'm working around the house and I have to run to Home Depot, and I don't change because I like the way people look at me. And I'd be like, bitch, if you only knew who I am, because I am Margarita, right? So people judge, and because, you know, we do research on this judging, and we practice it. And so when I see people, and I just smile, you know, now with the mask, I go like this to them. But my sister said her style is boring, but always love her heels. My cousin, sorry, she's leaving. Lisa says my style really depends on my mood. Petey loves the 70s bell bottoms. The bohemian, love black, makes me feel skinny. I just think my sister said when she's home, she's in her boxers and a t-shirt, and her daughter says she looks like a lesbian. But you know what? My sister does wear these extra huge size boxers, and she always annoyed the shit out of me with her boxers on and huge t-shirt, and then say, I'm fat. Well, then put something on that fits you and you won't feel so fat. So yeah, Janet, I put you out there. Frankie, yeah.
Michelle's on. Hi, Michelle. Good morning.
But I think, you know, I think we should always be dressed in what makes us comfortable.
Yes.
Always. And your style is your style. And it's not about who else likes it. I go out to Home Depot with my diamonds on my forehead.
Yeah, I love that. I love it.
People look at me, and I forget they're there because that's just part of my spirit. I'll stick them on for anything, not only for this show. I'll stick them on when I go to the doctors with my mom because it's something that's me.
Yes.
It flows naturally. If you have your own style, it's going to flow naturally no matter where you are in the world.
Yes.
You know, so I know we're ready to put on Francia.
And Michelle said, hello, good morning, beauties. Oh, Michelle, you're a beauty, and we're glad.
Good morning, Michelle.
And this is, again, you know, this is all about just being ourselves and talking. So do you want me to read what I wrote for Francia that you gave me, or that she gave?
Yes.
So our guest today, so we're going to have to go over like a little, because we started about 5 minutes late, so we're going to go a little bit past 9:05 today. It's about 9:05. So Our guest today is Francia Rodriquez. She's a real estate agent licensed in Florida and Connecticut. She's a young mother of 3 boys to men, so she's the mother of a singing a cappella group with a beautiful partner by her side. She's in love with life and everything in it, and she is one stylish, sexy lady. So Francia is going to come on. We're going to have her come in and talk about what do our clothes say about us.
What does it say about us? Are we librarians?
It says that I make an effort now.
Strippers? Are we, you know, I said if I'm ever going to be a prostitute, I'll be the high class one, that one that's $500 an hour. So I can dress.
Oh, yeah. No, more than that, honey.
Sit at a businessman say, hola, buenos dias.
Saying her dog is wagging his tail. Her dog Jeffrey is wagging his tail as we're talking. So he's very excited about it. Good morning, Francia.
Good morning, my lovely ladies.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I love it.
How much do you love it? How much?
From here to the moon and back.
Okay, good.
Not only do I try to follow you ladies as much as I can, watch your show in the mornings while running to work, but I totally admire you both. Like, you guys are strong, admirable ladies. Love your styles, love your personality and characters. Yes, and your success. God bless you.
Thank you. Well, it takes one to know one, right, Margie? Like, that's because you're the same way, Francia. You're the same way. And
nice job, Francia. Janet says, good morning, Francia Elena Reina Rodriguez, whatever. You have like 50 last names.
Wait till I hyphen that.
Yeah, you gotta hyphen it.
What did she say? Elena Rodriguez Reina. Yeah, you know.
Reina. Yeah.
It's all the, like, and that's very typical of, is it a Puerto Rican thing or is it a Hispanic thing?
Because we don't forget our mothers.
Right.
See,
It's a Latino, correct. It's a Latino thing. So Rodriguez is my father, my mom's married name, and Reina is my mom's maiden name. And in Latin America, we tend to carry on our mother's maiden name.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
Because like here, they forget the woman altogether.
Oh yeah, no, I think it should be the guy takes the wife's name now. I think
Latino cultures, they honor both parents, so that's why they had. And my father always kept Miguel Ángel Ramirez Ayala. He always kept his mother's last name, and I've always honored that. And I think it's beautiful. I think that the Latino men, as chauvinistic as they can be, they still honor the woman they came from.
Yeah.
That's why they're so protective with their daughters, and so, you know, so on and so forth. But I honor that. So welcome, Miss Lady of Many Names.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Francia, so the question is, what do your clothes say about you? Are you stylish, sloppy, casual, uptight, sporty? Are you a working lady, sexy? What is your style, and did you always have that style?
Definitely. So definitely piggyback on what you ladies have said. I don't have a style. I always consider myself a woman, a little girl, teenager, to now of owning whatever I decide to put on that day.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, and I was 250 pounds pre-gastric bypass. So I could tell you, or my sister could tell you, I was a happy, confident, fat girl. Like, I would throw on heels, I would throw on whatever, and I would still rock it. And I lost the weight, better, you know, even better. Like, I would, whatever I put on, I feel good on. So I feel like, yes, your style is how the clothes makes you feel, how you feel at the time, where you're going, your activity, right? Your profession. So I feel like you should wear your clothes, not let your clothes kind of wear you.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Do you, see, when I view you, like, no matter what you're wearing, because I see you through like your pictures, because I don't, we don't see each other in person all that much because you live so far away. But no matter what, you're always sexy. Like I that's how I view you. Do you view yourself that way? Do you feel sexy like all the time?
Honestly, no. Right? You put on a couple pounds and you're like, oh, your menstrual comes on. It's too hot outside. I don't feel sexy all the time, but I do have that connection with my clothes where, I'm confident of what I'm wearing wherever I'm going. So it's like we said before, it's an attitude, right? It's a feeling. Like you ladies, I'll put up my bun up here, my messy bun, and a quick, everyday clothing, and go to the store. And half people look at me, or people talk to me, approach me, and you're like, I'm not approachable right now, but they still do,
Because I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna agree with Bridget. She wrote, you are sexy and classy.
Yes.
Yes, Bridget. Hello, Bridget. Lillian Maldonado, say something. So yeah.
Hi, my lovely ladies. I love you.
I think it's like what Lori and I were talking before you came on, that our clothes, our choice in clothes matches our personality. The only time we feel uncomfortable, underdressed, or overdressed is when we're dressing outside of our personality.
Oh, so true.
So when we are dressed in whatever, whether it be like Lori's like the outdoorsy camping type, whether we have a day to dress like that. I'm not a sneaker person, but lately I've been wearing sneakers when I go out with mom. When I put my sneakers on and my leggings, and I still feel sexy, and I wrap myself up, and then I don't like to wear a lot of makeup here in Florida because it's hot, so I put the coconut oil. And I'm out there and I smile, and whoever looks at me fine, whoever doesn't, I'm fine. I don't give a shit. Because when I got to go out and do something, as long as I feel comfortable in what I have on, then we're fine, right? So I think that's the only time that if your style is whatever suits you that day, but whatever suits you that you're going to put on that day, you own, which means that's your style.
Yeah.
Whether it's outdoor clothes, going dancing clothes, going to Colombia clothes, it doesn't matter, right? The thing is, it's yours. You already own it because it's your style. And that's what we got to celebrate within ourselves, right? That we own everything that enhances what we're feeling that day. How's that?
Correct.
Lori has this beautiful, the one I seen was like a purple one with designs, and it's kind of see-through. It's like a throw.
Yeah.
I don't know where you got that from. And that is beautiful. It's very bohemian.
Yeah, I love it. I have two of them. I got it at a big fair up here in the Northeast called the Big E. And I'm sorry I didn't get like 5 more different colors, because that's how much I love it, And they give you these instructions. You can wear it like 15 different ways, like you can do all these different things. I don't know what happened to my instructions.
What do? You just throw it on, right? You're like, fuck it.
I just throw it on.
Throw over my head and my arms, and that's what we're going to call it a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not to add to that, I'm also a thrift shopper. I'm not your brand shopper. I'm not your, I have to get that because she's wearing it. Like, no, I'm a last minute shopper. And like you, Margarita, I was invited to this beautiful wedding. My girlfriend, Jessica, congratulations. 8 years now, married. Same thing. She had the sari for her wedding. She's Indian and her husband is Dominican. So they had half and half, the American and the Indian. So we had beautiful saris and spent money on the saris. And then she wanted us to change into beautiful black dresses for the reception. And I'm like, okay. Everybody's like, oh my God, we got to go to the mall. We got to go do this. Everybody posting how much they're spending on their clothes. I'm like, okay, I'll go get me a little black dress at the thrift shop. I went right to the thrift shop, $15, beautiful silk, body hugging, like I couldn't pick that out in a catalog. And I put it on. It was a little tight on me. I said, okay, I got 2 weeks. I'll put that zipper up. And I put myself in that dress. I didn't put it on me or forced it on me.
Yeah, that's
a price tag. you know, and everybody was like, oh my God, when did you get the dress? And I felt beautiful.
Yeah. And it's unique when you get it from the thrift store, because they're older, there's like not many of them left. So it's like you have this very unique,
or there's only one.
Or there's only one. That's right.
That was someone's dress that is sitting there, and it looked brand new. You know, you obviously brought it to the cleaners to get it clean and everything, and zip that thing up, and I was golden. And I do that all the time. I do not, you see my closet, I'm not a shoe whore. I'm not a have to shop with the latest trend. You know, I believe that trends come and go.
Yeah.
Is what you know, like we said, you know, it's what you carry with you throughout your life and how you want to do it, how you feel.
Yeah, I think with clothing, people are so stuck on, I love Ralph Lauren though. I have this polka dot dress that I wore in Colombia, and it just hides out my imperfections and shows my waist and enhances my hips, and I love it. But I bought it at Ross for $21.99. Okay? But when people say, oh my God, what are you wearing? I'm wearing Margarita. That's what I'm wearing.
Yep.
I don't own, if I own a Toby Burch purse, it's because my daughter Tiffany gave it to me. So it's secondhand owned. And it's the one I took to Colombia. If I own a Michael Kors, authentic Michael Kors, it's because my daughter gave it to me.
Yep, all gifts.
I don't. I wear a crossbody black purse that my brother got for me at Marshall's. And I love it. So it's like, you know, the only whore I'm going to be is Margarita's whore. I'm going to, because we all love a little bit of everything, right? And I can be a good puta sucia when I want to. So that's, you know, I can either be up here.
And I recycle too. I recycle the hell out of my clothes till the rips I can't sew anymore, or I can't safety pin anymore.
Yep, me too.
And there really shouldn't be no shame, because if you're comfortable in who you are, so whatever you wear is going to be comfortable. And most of my scarves here, I get at the thrift store. You know, and this scarf, I will wrap around my waist or I will wrap around my hip. So there's always something that
multi-purpose.
The recycling, you
absolutely
wear different and different stuff. So you wrap it around your breast. So and I'm thinking, what do clothes say about you? They say that you're confident, that you're sexy, that you're intelligent. I mean, it can say.
Well, no, I mean, it can
say you're ratchet. Like you look at somebody like, why the hell? Just because it's in your size don't mean you can wear it.
Yes.
You know? So you could be ratchet. You could be ghetto. You could be classy. You can be smart looking. You could look important and be the biggest asshole. Or you could look like homeless and be the most caring person you're ever going to meet. So go beyond the clothes and speak to the person. Go ahead, Francia.
Lori?
You had said you're right. It's like you can be sexy and you can be confident, but it could also say that you're not. Like that's what it was for me for a really long time. It was, you know, it was evident that I just I gave up. I think my maximum size, I was like a size 20 almost, like between an 18 and 20. I can't even believe that I was that large because it just seems so far away. But at that size, like I didn't want to spend the extra money and look for, because like it's interesting that when you get bigger, they have some great designer clothes, like really nice stuff, but it's costly. Like those plus size stores, and it's, you know, you're spending like a lot of money on a shirt where it's like I'm like, to me the style wasn't worth it. So I just got what I could, like just regular, you know, dressy looking t-shirts, in the plus sizes, you know, pull up pants that would just fit me. And I was just like, I didn't care. And it was obvious I didn't care. I never wore any jewelry. I didn't put any makeup on. I didn't really put much effort into my hair. And then, but you put that out there. And even though my personality was great and I did smile a lot, not nearly as much as I do now, but it still wasn't like, people like look over you. Like they look past you, go, you know, somewhere. And even when you get dressed up, it's like you go to a wedding or you do something, it's like you just still don't put enough out there. And a lot of it had to do with the fact too that I was not happy with who I was. And I was afraid to show it. I didn't want people to see it. But when you get past that and you start to say, okay, no, you know what, I actually really do, you know, this is my style. And I noticed over the years that when I would put that out here and there, like when I would be that outdoorsy person, I got this, like, I wasn't even trying, but people were attracted to me, like men and women. It wasn't just like, wasn't like people were hitting on me.
It was an energy attraction.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would go away from that, and then it would be like this closed thing. Then I would get it back for a short period of time. Then it would come back. And then finally I just said, once I like gave up on that and let that go and became happy with who I was, that's when the style came in. And that's when I was proud to wear it. And no matter what I look like, yes, even when I'm homeless, I can be out somewhere at Home Depot and I still get the same responses from people, even, and I laugh at that, right? Isn't it hilarious when you go out, right? We sometimes as women get dressed up to like, oh, I got to get dressed up to go to this place so I could look good and be sexy. Then you go out to like Walmart or Home Depot and you're like, oh, I got to go run out and get something. And you look like crap. You know you do. Like you go out there, like, I'm not even trying. You go out there and then like some dude is like going, oh, hey, you know, hey, mama, you look good. You're like, are you kidding me? Like, I look like crap. Like, I didn't even try, but it's what.
Because you're natural.
But let me add to that. If you walk around, let's say me, my heels, I'm going to the office, and I walk into a gas station, you might get that same guy, but what happens? You're out of his league.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's automatically like, oh, I can't approach her. She's, you know, or hi, you know, he'll say a hello, but then you're not, you know what I'm saying? You're dressed down or whatever. Then you get the, you know, the cocky ones like, hey, mom,
Sure,
where are you? Like, because
You
they're
get
like,
the hawking no matter what. They're always.
her.
But let me tell you, when we went to Colombia, Francia got there before us. Her flight landed before Lillian and I. And so we're coming out to where the gate is, and we had a driver waiting for us. So we're coming out, and then we see somebody with the name, and then we see Francia with her cup of coffee. Hey! And you see, like, she was getting so much, like, everybody was looking at Francia, right? So she videotaped us, and we're waving coming out of the gate to go where she was. And Francia had on a simple black t-shirt, black leggings. The t-shirt wasn't even like long, some sneakers, and I think her hair was loose. Yeah, your hair was loose that day. And her bag, that's it. You had no makeup on. And her energy was so boisterous and happy that, you know, got the henna, and she was a magnet for everybody, because everybody was, and I'm looking aside, and everybody was looking at her that day. So much that I was so busy observing her that I didn't notice the people looking at me. And then when I'm walking away, you know, they're like saying hi. We don't notice that off rip. And I think that's true. Sometimes people are intimidated by how we look when we are dressed. But I think sometimes it's just how we feel going in. So because sometimes we gotta also, when we're dressed up, we feel elevated. So we are like a little stuffy as well. I mean, I can admit that. Like, don't look at me. You're in the passenger seat. Don't look at me. You know what I mean? So it depends. We can also give out that vibe.
Yeah, it's definitely energy.
How we feel, you know, we gotta own how we feel and walk in. And I think pretty much we do that pretty well. I'm so confident in who I am that I'll go out with my clothes painted. Like yesterday, I went out. I had paint on my face and my hair. I just threw anything on, and I don't, you know why? Because I don't care who judges me at this point in my life.
And you probably got hit on.
51.5-year-old. I don't give a shit. I earned my
hit on while you're
now,
out.
ladies, now, quick question
I did
for
put
you
a
guys.
bra on.
Quick question for
For that one, I put a bra on.
So, quick question. I saw this the other day. I believe she was a TV personality or anchor, or she hosts her own, I guess, news show. And she's, you know, a beautiful white lady that started early on. And as she started to find herself, right, her sexuality and her sexual preference, she's gay, she's a lesbian. So, but she had to hold this image for PR, right? For her PR, for her show and for her TV network. But then she slowly started changing it to where it was, you know, not too much for them to say, oh, you can't do that, you know, or you can't. How do you guys feel, or what do you say to that, to that gender or profession, right? Or you're in an executive position, you cannot wear something too laid back, or you're on TV as a reporter. Like my man and I had that conversation the other day where he automatically said, why is he wearing that plain t-shirt on when he's an African-American, you know, reporter? He should own his profession. And I'm like, he's out there reporting. You know, he's out there, you know, with his beautiful, he was neat and he was doing his job. But why are you judging him based on his shirt? You want him to have a shirt and tie all the time, you know? So what do you guys say about the gender pressure and also the profession with the race pressure, right? With who we, like we're Latinas, we can't walk around looking ratchet to go to the job because we're, you know, things like that.
Because a Latina is a woman who's a second-class citizen, and being Latina, you're second-class citizen to the second-class citizen. So we're like way down on the totem pole. So we always felt we got to work twice as hard. And I think just for presentability and to have self-respect, we should always go out looking, like when we go to job interviews. When I used to teach employability skills, I used to walk behind my students, and they would go in dressed like their normal selves into a store, and nobody approached them, but they were followed and watched. And then when they would go in the next day dressed in their dress for success interview outfit, people were approaching them. Same face, same hairdo, by the way, just different clothes. So early on in my career, when I used to teach adults, I saw that, and it was and I would get upset, and I would go off on some of them because that was before I could have controlled my rage. But because I was protective of them, right? But I think that in what your fiance said, you can understand his side, right, Lori? You know, with the people of color that we are, it's like we feel, I think, more so. I don't think the Caucasians look at it like, oh, they better dress better than me to make it. I think we put that upon ourselves. When I think if you're clean and your clothes are neat and ironed and you know what you're talking about and you present what you're saying eloquently, color doesn't matter.
Yeah, I have to say that's true. I think, and I'm saying it across the board. Like, I think we do have an expectation of professionalism. So, like, I'll give you an example. So if you watch the Weather Channel, that's like the only news that I watch. If you watch the Weather Channel, when they're online, like when they're there, like in the studio, the women always wear dresses. They have never worn pants. Like, they always wear dresses. They always have a different dress. The guys always wear some sort of dress shirt with a tie. But when they're out reporting, then they have the jacket on, you know, that says the Weather Channel. They got the T-shirt on. The one anchor lady, the one main lady, she usually has like a baseball cap on. So it's this, like, okay, this is how you dress when you're outside reporting. This is how you dress when you're here. And the funny part is, I think she looks prettier when she's out reporting in the jacket and the T-shirt, very minimal makeup, the baseball hat. She looks so beautiful that way. And when I see her in the studio, I'm like, she just looks overdone. Although I tried her style recently and she looks much better. I don't know what she did. She's just changed a few things and she looks more.
She's probably in her element, right? She's probably in her element. But I know what Francia's going to say. Speak on it. You're going to talk about the Spanish newscasters, right? You ever watch the Spanish news, Lori?
Yes,
where they
Eric, my husband, used to love to watch the Spanish news just to see the news lady with her push-up bra. She goes, he said, you all wear like those tight things that you can see your full thing in the front. And because that's how we feel beautiful, I think, right?
So that goes to the first part of my question, gender, right? So is it okay?
Why we put up with it?
Right. Is it okay for a network or, PR people and within your network to tell you what to wear so they can have better ratings, or you can look a certain way, or we want to stay neutral. We don't want you to look too gay or too less, is that right?
No, it's
No,
not.
I don't think so. I don't think
And I think a lot of people are so afraid to have studied a career, they're afraid to lose their jobs, when I think that your fear of losing your job, your fear should be of losing yourself and your self-worth. And there's a lot of people, like right now somebody said, well, I work for the health industry. If they come up with a coronavirus, like injection, like the flu shot, I'm going to have to take it. I don't have no choice. Bitch, you have a choice. Either you stick to your moral compass or you stay in a job that's going to dictate your life. Everybody has a choice, right? So people got to start standing up for wherever it is they're working at. Of course,
but I also think that, like, in the beginning, when you first get the job, until you gain some sort of popularity or notoriety or some strength within the company, sometimes you have to, unfortunately, bow to that. So, like, think about, like, Oprah Winfrey, think about Ellen DeGeneres. When they started, it's like they dressed the way that people wanted them. I mean, Ellen wasn't out of the closet, so she dressed the way more so than she does now. Wasn't feminine, but it was enough feminine.
Her hair was feminine.
And she played the role until she got to a level where when she did come out, that people were open to that. And same with Oprah. When she first started and before she became like Oprah, when she first started and she was on the network, she dressed the part of a talk show host, white professional woman. That's what she dressed as, because that's what was the norm and that's what they wanted. And then she decided to start, as she became more powerful and more influential, she started to put herself out there, and they had no choice, because she became the reason people watched. Not that they put her on and she worked for them; they worked for her.
Correct.
And so that, I guess that's what happens. But it all has to do with owning yourself and being okay with who you are, stepping up when you can. I would never want somebody to risk their job. It depends, it depends, to prove a point necessarily.
Right. And respect the guidelines.
Yeah, and I understand that, and maybe I'm just a rebel. But so as you just said about Oprah Winfrey and Ellen, and I loved them both, and I watched them, and I studied their story. And Ellen was dumped from all the networks. She was irrelevant to them until she said no mas, and she became who she is today. And I love her. So I think today we don't have to go through all of that. They did it for us, like Malcolm X did and Martin Luther King. And my favorite, Medgar Evers, that no one ever talks about him, and he's like my favorite. Oprah and Ellen, they carved the way. So if you believe in who you are, you can say no. It is your right. And these jobs, especially now, they're trying to force feed you what they want. Like my niece had to sign something saying that even if her kid is sick, she can't leave work. And do you agree with this? If not, it's abandonment of the job. I would have said, I told her, why'd you sign that? That's your child. But anyway, so now they're trying to impose, watch, it's going to come. They're going to impose more. And I still think that, you work hard to be who you want to be. And maybe because I've always been like this in all my jobs. And if my former executive directors on RENA speak up, because even then, I would be like, no, I'm not doing it. Fire me if you want. And maybe it is the rebel in me, but it's also I stood up for what I believed in.
Well, you're true to self. You want to be true to self. So sometimes people, and Francia, you know what I'm talking about with this, because you're in an industry that represents, when you're a real estate agent, you have to represent yourself in a certain way so that you are open, you attract all types of clients. Mm-hmm. Sometimes one of the things that has to be done sometimes is that you present yourself a certain way in your job. And as long as you're okay with that, when you're done with your job and you go home for the day, then you represent who you are. But deep down, you always represent who you are. You don't hide who you are. You just temporarily, it's like wearing a uniform. You might be like, this is not what I would wear, but it's required by the job. You wear the uniform, but when you get home, you know who you are.
Yeah, I think you misunderstood.
Hold on, Margarita. Hold on, Margie. Hold on a second. The only one other piece is that if you are like you, Margie, where you're really just like, no way, I'm not going to compromise, you find another outlet. Like, look at people who said, I want to be out there. I want to be on TV. I want to be like a personality. And there was no space for them on the networks. So they go on YouTube. And I think of people like Lily Singh. Like Lily Singh is, she is, what a personality this girl has. And she just does her. She's on YouTube. She's become extraordinarily popular over the years.
Is she a comedian?
She's like a comedian and personality, and she's just who she is. And she just found the outlet. She said, screw that. This is who I want to be. This is how I want to do it. She got on YouTube, and she's probably more popular than half the people on network TV. So
it's for everybody, yeah. I think that's
what I'm saying is, I'm not saying we all have to, that's how we learn and that's how we grow.
Yes.
Putting on the uniform, thank you for saying it like that. We put on a uniform, but how many people are miserable, suffering depression because they've locked themselves up because they need a job because they have bills to pay? If that's your mentality, then you know what? I'm sorry. I feel sorry for you. Because we were born on our own. We have our own ideas. And you know what? Learn what you can and wear the uniform for as long as you can learn what you have to do. But if you know who you are and you have a sense of self-worth, then if they come out with this needle stuff, this antivirus, whatever it is, I don't even can't say the word, then you work in the medical industry, you do have a choice. And if you feel that you can't do anything else, then take the poison. I'm against all of that. So that's why I'm so speaking on it so tough. I'm not saying just do that, but I just feel that even if at the back of your head, you wear your uniform, but you know what? Be rebellious at some point. Don't agree to everything because you will eventually chip away at your authentic self and become another robot for the company.
Yeah, you have to be careful.
Your life to, and the minute you die, they're replacing you within 30 minutes of your obituary.
Yeah, you have to be careful.
I agree. I agree with Margarita and I agree with Lori. I agree with both of you. Is you have to own who you are and find yourself, right? Especially teenagers, especially young people trying to find themselves out there at the beginning of their, at the end of their school career.
Find a role model, yes.
Correct. So yeah, you have to be careful as you're finding yourself and finding your niche, your profession, your job. Respect yourself, respect others and their rules. And if it's not for you, just like I say in relationships, bye. And next, is you have to not be stuck and miserable. You have to find your happiness, your you.
And that's
if you can't find the balance with how you represent yourself at your job or in your personal life, if you cannot find the balance and say, okay, I'm willing to compromise just a little bit here because of their rules, but I'm not losing myself. So what you were saying, Margie, was not losing yourself, but then go home and be you. If that works, then it works. But you're right, Francia, if it doesn't, then don't compromise because you will lose yourself. You will be miserable, and you won't represent. And then you'll so lose yourself that you won't know who you are. And once that job ends, you won't know how to represent yourself anymore.
And you bring that misery to work. I mean, to home, or wherever you go. And that's, once again, then you turn into a total miserable person. And no matter what you wear, no matter what you put on, no matter what.
Exactly. And it's compromising. You know what? I'm really like that word. And that's just how I've always been all my life. But I agree. You do have to wear, and I love the way you put it, Lori. That sits well with me. When you said, wear the uniform.
Yeah.
Instead of telling me to compromise, because now you're threatening me and I'm going to go for me. So by putting on the uniform, yes, and navigate through those waters and take with you what you can. And you know what, Francia, that's why Lori and I are entrepreneurs, because Lori's very calm to my, woo, and look at how she just sits there and she listens and she's not judging, but she's like, okay, let me just change some words for Margie so that it would sit better with her. And I thank you for that, Lori, because I'm very passionate. I'm passionate at everything I do. So sometimes it comes out a little rough, but yeah, I think I think we had different conversations, different views, but I think they all tied in together with the three of us this morning. So,
and that's the beauty about your show, and that's the beauty about life, that we are all different, and we all bring in our different and our everything and our knowledge and our even our flaws, right, and our insecurities to talk about them, you know, and that's where we fail, when we don't talk about them.
And that's just it. Bring it. That's the point. You bring you. Like, don't hide and say I'm not worth it and nobody wants to know me and the world doesn't like me and blah blah. Just bring yourself. You fit somewhere, and even if it's whether it's bringing yourself through your style or you're not style, just bring yourself, and then but allow yourself to be who you are. And you be okay with you, but you also don't judge anybody else. So you be you, I'll be me, and we'll all like rise up together and just be like amazing. Whether we're boho, sexy, you know, sporty, it doesn't matter your look, just represent you. As long as it represents.
Happy, that's a style.
And that's the most important outfit you put on throughout the day. And I just wanted to say thank you for sharing that you had the gastric bypass, and that you were once 250 pounds, because you look phenomenal. But before we leave, just tell us, what is your favorite outfit? What is your favorite outfit?
Okay, so it's hot in Florida, and I have to have a uniform to go to work. So I do a nice top, blouse, and tights. I'll do tights or pants. That's my favorite outfit. And some flats, because I'm not walking around, I'm not, you know, we're social distancing, I don't have to show off my calves, you know, or things like that. So, you know, my legs, so I just put on my flats behind my desk right now, and comfortable. That's my style. My favorite outfit right now is comfortable.
It's comfort.
But dress to work, right? Like we said, keep it professional, clean, but comfortable.
Put a bra on. That's what I got to remind myself.
Yeah.
I don't have one. But look, I love them.
Let me have some of those.
No bra. Woo! Good morning to my cousin Priscilla for coming out today. Thank you
so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
It's been an honor. You and Lily and Lisa and everybody who's been on the show. It's been phenomenal. We thank you for taking the time to be here at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, thank you so much, and we really appreciate it. And while I would say our next topic on Tuesday, I forgot to write it down, Margie. I normally write it down, and I forgot, so I don't even know what our topic is for Tuesday.
Oh my God! Yes,
but it'll be a good one.
Yeah, it's gonna be an awesome one. You forgot to
I can't believe I forgot to write it down, so I apologize for that. So anyway, you guys, everybody we want to thank Francia for coming on today and having this great discussion with us. And go into your closet and just like be crazy this weekend. Just go out and just flaunt yourself and be you. Show everybody who you are. And if you've been holding back, just go out and show people who you are and just enjoy it. Even with social distancing, you know, who cares? Just get out there and do it. And just have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys on Tuesday, right? Any last things, Margie?
Not to sound cliche, but be kind. Be kind to each other.
Yes.
That's the best compliment you can have for anyone wearing whatever they're wearing, whatever their situation is. Wherever you are, be kind.
Yes.
Yep. Just learn that everybody has a style, and it's not always going to be yours. And your style isn't going to be everybody else's. So just accept. Yep. And that's how you learn. Maybe
respect.
You want to style because of someone. But I want to think. My last words is my cousin Yolanda came on for the first time as well.
Hi, Yolanda.
Bridget, Michelle Martinez. Kelly Unique Sweets. Oh, we had some good people on today. Thank you, Francia. Lillian Maldonado. I hope she's still on. So, yes, I want to thank everybody who joined us this morning. And, yes, to piggyback on Lori, have a safe 4th of July weekend. If you're out there, you know, make wise choices. It's just a weekend.
Yeah, that's correct.
Weekend, celebrate a little or not, but just be safe. Because, you know what? Safe is like priority over fun.
Now.
Yeah, absolutely. So remember
all the time.
Choices.
So
And gracias, Francia, mi amor, mi reina from Ajusta tu Corona. That's what we didn't add in.
That's
right.
right. Yep. So remember, everybody, be you, be real, be extraordinary. And Margarita,
Breathe in the beauty, breathe out the bullshit. And have yourself a phenomenal weekend. And we'll see you tonight on Lori's channel. I will be.
yeah, that's right. That's right. You are going to be on my guest on there. We're going to talk about trauma to triumph. So
Yeah.
we'll see you guys coming on.
What time?
Bye, Francia.
What time, Lori?
8 p.m. Eastern time.
8 p.m. tonight. So,
Yep. Bye, everybody.
bye-bye.
Nice.